and welcome to another episode of Rich Talks BS. This week in sports was pretty good. You had some good games in the major leagues. You've had some talks, a lot of talks in the NFL draft, and of course the NBA. We're going to start off with baseball though. MLB in the major leagues, you got the Yankees with a rough start. They're starting off like one of their worst seasons. They have a low in batting average, a low in slugging average, and they're starting the season off, just horrible. They're starting the season off at 6-11. I mean, granted, it's just the beginning of the season. This happens a lot. Just slow starts. Everyone's having a slow start, but everybody's catching rhythm. Everybody's trying to get together, get the chemistry going and get their pitching together, getting their defense together, and so on and so on. But the Yankees, to have a start like this, they haven't had a start like this in a long time. It's been like about the 60s, and, it's not looking good for them. But we'll see what happens. They might be able to bounce back, and we'll just see. Their pitching has been okay. We'll see, if that's going to get any better. Next, one of my favorite series, I guess, over the weekend was the Dodgers and the Padres. I actually got to see the first game. That first game went into extra innings. That game was exciting. It was good. It was just all around good. Just being neck and neck, going into the extra innings, and then the way that it ended, it was good. It was the start of a good series. The Dodgers ended up winning 2 out of 3 in that series. They still got 16 more games left. They're in the same division. Watching these two teams play is good baseball. Can't wait to see them in the postseason. Both teams most likely are gonna make the postseason. Expected to make the postseason, and to see them two go head to head again in the playoffs, that'll make it an even greater series than the regular season. Dodgers are starting out great. They're at the top of the league, and they've only lost 4 games. Right now they're on track to win 126 games, or they're on track to win over 100 games and still be the top team in the league. They're doing great. Mookie just got hurt. He got hit in the forearm with the ball the other day. He's not going to be out long, and their pitching is great. The Dodgers pitching is great. Padres look good. Right now they're sitting at like 500, but they're a good team. They're gonna get everything together. They got everything together. They got young hitters. They got good pitchers. They got Yu Darvish. Tatis is doing good. Tatis went right back into rhythm when he came back from his injury, and they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good baseball to watch this year. Baseball in general is going to be good to watch this season. From the games that I've seen and the highlights that I've been able to catch, it has been great. It's getting exciting. I can't wait to go to a game, and I encourage people to start watching baseball again or to watch it if you haven't watched it. Give it a little bit of time to get into the rhythm of the game, especially at the beginning of the game, because a lot of people, thinks it's not that exciting. It can get exciting in the first inning, and also get exciting in the 8th inning. It's just the process between beginning and the end. Sometimes it might not be exciting. Some games might not be exciting, but there are going to be a lot of games out there that's exciting. There's bigger, faster, stronger players out there, than years past, and the pitching is great this year. The hitting is great this year. Baseball is just good this season in general, period. Try to catch a couple of games, especially some of the big games. Dodgers and Padres are actually playing the Sunday night game on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. That's going to be a great game to catch that night if you're not doing anything. But baseball, like the A's. The Oakland A's are on an 11-game win streak. And They started the season like 1-7, 0-7, and now they're on an 11-game win streak. Just had to come back against the Twins, and and they were down by 2 runs in the 10th inning against the Twins. Come back to have back-to-back errors, and a walk-off victory, 3 runs on back-to-back errors, and then the win without recording a hit, and then scored 3 runs without recording a hit, and that went down crazy. The 2 errors, the one where the ball was dropped, the ball was overthrown at first, and it just caused a domino effect for the Twins to lose the game. But the A's look good. The A's are playing great. Like I said, 11-game win streak. We'll see how long that goes, see how long it lasts, and see if they can keep having that momentum that they have going further, as they go along. Next, we got the NFL. We've had 2 announcements for retirement. One is Alex Smith. Alex Smith announced his retirement a couple of days ago, and Jordan Reed announced his retirement a couple of days after that. But with Jordan Reed, he's having concussion issues. So, that, of course, is a big health concern, especially in the NFL. So that's understandable. Jordan Reed had a great career. Good luck out there. You're going to do great. You did great. You're always going to do great. Of course, we've had draft talks. The draft is next week, and draft talks have been all over the place. Of course, from San Fran trading up to number 3, we know they're going to get a quarterback, but which quarterback are they going to get? And that's been the speculation and the questions and all the talks, around that number 3 pick. We know who 1 and 2 is going to be. Of course, 1, Trevor Lawrence. 2 is Zach Wilson going to the Jets, and pretty much the draft starts at number 3. Who are the 49ers going to draft, and which first big weapon is coming off the board first? It's just going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. We're going to see, compared to, or depending on who's actually left on the board, we're going to see more trade-ups. And we're going to see who's going to actually trade up, especially one with the Patriots. Are the Patriots going to trade up if they see an opening? Are they going to try to draft a quarterback, move up and draft a quarterback out of the first round, coming back from where they're at? Or are they going to draft up and draft a weapon? They could still trade up to the number 8 spot with Carolina. At that 8 spot, depending on who's left, they're either going to draft a quarterback, or they're going to draft the first weapon, or a strong weapon at that. Sorry. But, if for some reason Trey Lance falls to number 8, we might see the Patriots draft up to draft Trey Lance. Or if Mac Jones falls that far, or we'll see what happens. Or if Jamar Chase is left at that spot, or even Kyle Pitts. If Kyle Pitts is left at number 8, something is wrong here. Kyle Pitts should be the first weapon off the board. To me, he's better than Jamar Chase. He has better hands, or not just better hands, but he's just a better choice, a better athlete than a Jamar Chase or a Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle. I think Kyle Pitts is more of a threat, bigger threat than those 3, especially because he's at the tight end spot. He's a tight end that could play a receiver position, but him being a tight end is making him even a better weapon. Tight ends are needed in this league. Tight ends are, people are like underestimating the tight ends. Tight ends are taking over. You know, you've had tight ends that been leading the league in receptions, you know, the past few seasons, past couple seasons. Of course, Travis Kelce, you know, and you need that tight end. You need that rollout. You need that rollout buddy with you. You need that go-to guy, you know, on third down or in the red zone. And a tight end, a big tight end like Kyle Pitts, is an answer for it, you know. But we'll see what happens. We'll see who's gonna go where. We'll see who's gonna pick that up. But one of the quarterbacks really two of the quarterbacks that have been questioned is Trey Lance and Mac Jones. You know, Mac Jones is a great quarterback. I've said it before. Mac Jones should go number 3. You know, Mac Jones is that quarterback that you can fit in any system. I believe you can fit Mac Jones in any system and he will succeed. You know, whether you want him to be a statue or you want him to be a dual threat. I really believe he could be a dual threat quarterback. You know, I believe he's got legs. He's got feet. You know, he can make decisions, you know, on the run if he needs to roll out and pass it or roll out, you know, to get away from a defender that's about to sack him. You know, rolling out and getting the first down or getting some yards. You know, I really believe Mac Jones can do that. We've seen Mac Jones play. We've seen the most recent Mac Jones. Trey Lance coming out of the FCS is kind of questionable for me. You know, you've only had the one season that was, 2019. He played one game last season, and it was an okay game. But you only have so much on Trey Lance, and especially coming out of the FCS. Not knocking the FCS, but I mean, you know, look at Carson Wentz. You know what I'm saying? Like, Carson Wentz coming out of the FCS, you know, he was good. You know, he was good. He had an MVP, you know, type caliber season, but he's just, you know, having trouble. You know, he was just with the wrong team. He had a little trouble, you know, and now we're going to see what he can really do in Indianapolis, you know, especially somewhere where he's happy, because now it seems like he's happy. It didn't seem like he was happy in Philly, but we'll see how that goes. But for me, is Trey Lance a legitimate starter as a rookie? No, I don't think so. I don't think Trey Lance is a legitimate starter as a rookie because I believe he still has some more to learn, especially coming into the league. You know, the league is a different ball game than college, especially coming from the FCS. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, playing Division I, you know, playing like in the SEC or the Big 12 or the Big 10, you're playing different type caliber teams and different type defenses, different level of defenses. You know, like Alabama. Alabama is like, you know, Alabama at times seems like they have a team that can beat the worst team in the NFL or some of the bottom teams in the NFL. And it seems like that because, you know, the way they're coached, the way they're trained, the way they're disciplined, and they're already being set up for the NFL anyway because of who they're being coached by. But they're still like NFL ready type players, you know, and it's just, you know, other schools, you know, in the SEC, you know, are trying to do the same thing. You know, they have more resources to recruit type players like that more than the FCS. But Trey Lance, you know, he needs to get drafted to like a team that already has a quarterback that he can learn behind. One being the Falcons. Falcons should pick up Trey Lance, put him behind Matt Ryan for a couple of years, and watch what happens. He's going to learn the system. He's going to learn more, you know, from a veteran, experienced quarterback like Matt Ryan. You know, hopefully he doesn't, like, turn out to be like Matt Ryan, which I don't think he will. He's way more mobile than Matt Ryan. But that's a good, you know, that's a good mentor to sit behind and learn, how to, take over a team and how to handle a team in the NFL. Should Belichick, pick up Trey Lance? If Belichick can pick up Trey Lance, go for it. That's what I'm saying with, with the Patriots. Depending on who's left at number 8, they could trade up and get a Trey Lance. If Trey Lance is still at number 8, they might get him. Also, if there's a certain weapon that they're looking for, or if there's a certain weapon that's left at number 8, they're gonna go get them too. The Patriots are gonna be very interested to see what kind of decisions they make, especially Belichick. See what kind of decisions Belichick makes in the draft. And next we got the NBA. The NBA has been is just getting more and more exciting the closer we get to the playoffs, especially the play-in round. Teams are trying to get past that. Number 6 is where you want to be now, and it's starting to shape up. It's starting to it's starting to look more clear of who's going to make the playoffs and who might make the play-in games too. The power rankings came out. You had Sixers at number 1, the Clippers were number 2, Suns number 3, Nets number 4, and Jazz number 5. Of course, these 5 teams are the teams to look out for that could take it. The Bucks is also in that talk, or for them to come out of the East anyway. And the Nets, they have what it takes if they're healthy. If you have James Harden, which I'm gonna get to him in a minute, if you got James Harden and Kyrie, you can make a playoff run, but you're not gonna make the finals. You're not gonna win the finals. You're not even gonna make the finals. You need KD. KD needs to be healthy for the Nets to make the finals and have a better chance at winning the finals, depending on who they play. Kyrie is your answer. Kyrie is your main attraction, your main player that is going to determine whether you succeed or fail. But we'll see how that goes. Of course, if they're not healthy, they still got to get through Milwaukee and Philly. And those are 2 teams that you don't want to play unhealthy. They can win. Sixers can win. The Sixers, can win without one of their players, 2 of their players. Embiid is still playing MVP caliber basketball. He's playing even better as of lately, and he is boosting his team where they need to be. Embiid is looking great. I wish he could have stayed healthier, in the past, and we could have seen this a long time ago. We knew he had the potential to play like this. We just couldn't see it because he kept getting injured and he didn't play much. This year, he hasn't missed that many games, but he's missed enough to kind of put him out of the MVP race. But no doubt, he's still, one of the top players to win the MVP. To me, he should win MVP. I mean, it's a close race with the Joker, but to me, Embiid should win MVP no matter how many games he's missed. But he's missed enough to play in way more than enough games to be considered for the MVP. So Harden has setbacks in his rehab, so they're doing another MRI and it didn't look good. So now he's out indefinitely, which he could return maybe the first round of the playoffs. We'll see how that goes. KD is day to day. Like I said, you need a healthy KD. KD is out right now. He's day to day. AD, Anthony Davis, is returning to the Lakers on Thursday night against the Nuggets. He will be on minutes restrictions, but he feels good. He says he feels good. He's ready to play. And right now, at this moment, they need him. I get the minutes restrictions. That's fine. Let him get back in the rhythm. He's going to get back in the rhythm. It's not like it's going to take him a long time to get back in the rhythm. And he's going to be great. He's going to be fine. He's just, they just got to go at a certain pace until they get LeBron back. When they get LeBron back, watch these Lakers hit the ground running. And there's going to be no looking back because they're coming back 110% healthy because they're ready to make this push. He's gonna do it. He's gonna, they're gonna make it, and they're gonna be healthy, and it's just gonna be harder for teams in the West to come out of the West and play in the finals. MVP talks, of course, Joker, Embiid at one, I apologize. Embiid is actually in the MVP race. He's currently sitting at number 2. Doncic bumped up the list. You've also got Giannis and Lillard jumping up the list too. But there is one that, I feel maybe could be in this top 5. But who would you drop from this top 5 at this moment? But Steph should definitely be in that top 5 of the MVP race. Steph has been playing crazy games as of, not just this past few games, but like the past couple weeks. He was, sitting at so many consecutive games of 30 points or more. He's putting up 49 points. He's shooting all these threes. He's making all these buckets. He's leading his team to wins. And right now, they're making it to a certain point to where they can play in this play-in game and actually make the playoffs. Like I've said it before, this is a team you don't want to play in the play-in game. The way they've been hot, the way their mindset is going to be at that time when it's time for the play-in games. And, Steph is here to prove a point that he's still here to win. He still can lead a team to victories and to the postseason. But the way him and Draymond have been playing, they've been playing great basketball. They're great leaders for this Warriors team. They've been leading this Warriors team to, through the trenches, through, taking them to war. And these two are leading the team the way it should be led. Andrew Wiggins is playing good. Oubre is playing good. And really, this team is setting up for next season. Because when Klay comes back to a team like this, then you're going to have Wiseman coming back too, healthy. This team is going to look good next year. They're going to look dangerous. They're going to get it together. The way Steph's been shooting, Klay is going to get right into that rhythm of shooting also. And when you have both of them shooting threes like that, 10 threes a night, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop that? But that's for a conversation for another day. Like I said, Steph should be in that MVP conversation. He's playing like an MVP. He's always played like an MVP, but this year he's really playing at that MVP caliber. He's leading the league in scoring. He's at 31.1 points a game. So, we'll see how that goes. That's all the BS I have for this episode. Until next time.